what's your view on the dollar over 2018?
Well, basically, we have a tale of two halves. We are actually counter consensus right now. When we started looking at this year, we feel that the dollar is at the other end of the spectrum. The bond yield is at above 2.6 right now. You know, exactly where we were last year, but at that point in time, the dollar was really strong. And I think if you look at the central banks in the region, the ECB in particular, is finding itself at the same position as the Fed a year ago. In other words, markets were very optimistic. They're focusing too much on growth, but inflation, is becoming a challenge. So, and the ECB has been coming out to tell everyone that understand that you're optimistic about me, the eurozone, and you want to bring forward, the monetary normalization. So, but the reality is that the higher you bring the euro, the more I'll prolong the process. So I think we're at this very important juncture. While the global reflation trade has been linked with the weak dollar, so it's sort of amplified this whole monetary policy normalization. But the reality is that we feel that the U.S. economy is still likely to grow faster. Eurozone and Asia, they're most cyclical. We had very strong surprises in the third quarter GDP numbers, especially in Asia. But we are starting to see, for example, in Singapore, GDP growth coming off from the highs, and export numbers in Korea now returning to single digits.
Why?
Basically, we have a very strong base effect. So the biggest surprise, I guess, for most of the dollar boost last year, apart from the lower than expected U.S. inflation, was a stronger China growth, stronger European growth, and many Asian countries surprising on the upside, especially in third quarter. But I think going along, there's going to we probably need to adjust, recalibrate, and at the same time, if you look at the euro, the market's thinking is that, okay, ECB is going to reverse policy, right? So euro fell from 140 to 105. So therefore, let's bring it back to 140. But the reality is that the REER, which the ECB is looking at, has already gone back, to the highs before the deflation. So that's what he's telling the market right now, that, you have actually done your job. It's just that, the euro has moved up much faster than most of the other currencies in the basket. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is a disconnect, sort of a gap that the policymakers are trying to close. I think the Koreans have been quite vocal that there's a herd instinct, and that look, yes, I have hiked rates, but now my exports growth is single digit again, and my inflation is below 2%. And my currency has appreciated so much last year. I was the top, and why do you want to push me further?